Welcome to solverfy.
Alrighty, so I'm going to call this procedure FR, sort of short for first repeated, because we're looking for the first location of an integer in a list that is equal to another one in the list. So we have a list of integers, which I will abbreviate as ints, and of course this list should contain at least one element. So first we'll initialize some variables. We're going to set the location equal to 0. So if we find a repeated element, we will adjust that. And if not, it'll return 0, letting us know that there was no repeated elements. I'm also going to set an index equal to 2. And so we're going to be having two loops here. Essentially, it's going to go through the list, right? But then there's going to be another loop to check every element before that one. So we start at 2 and we'll check 1. Change it to 3, and then we'll be checking 1 and 2. So I is the position in the list that we'll be comparing to the previous positions. Okay, so we'll start our first loop here, and we'll say that while I is less than or equal to n. So we want this loop to stop when we've exhausted all the elements. But we also want it to stop once we've found our first repeated item, right? We don't need to list and find all of them. We just need the one. So we'll say while I is less than n and the location is equal to 0. Right now is where we start our second sort of nested loop, right? So we'll initialize j here equal to 1. So that way, every time we increase the position that we're comparing to the previous ones, it'll start over at the beginning. So we want to set j equal to 1. And we'll start our second loop now. And so this one, we'll say, well, while j is less than I, right? Because we're only, if we're at the fourth element in the list, we only want to compare that to the first 3. But we also want to make sure that the location is equal to 0. We haven't found a repetition yet. So we'll then want to compare the elements and actually see if there's any repetitions. So if AI is equal to AJ, right, then we will want to adjust our location. And we want the location of the first occurrence of it. So we'll set it equal to I. And if that doesn't happen, if they never equal each other, that's just fine. Then we need to increase j, right? So j needs to increase up until it is 1 less than I. So let's set j equal to j plus 1. And once we've checked every element before the ith element, then we'll get out of this while loop, and so these two lines are under this loop, and we'll put I increasing. So we want I to move up 1. Right, and then these lines are all part of the first while loop. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So we have a while loop here that just checks everything from 1 to I, and then once we've checked everything, we get to reset j and increase the ith index by 1. Okay. And so finally, once we've done that until we either found our repetition, or have exhausted the list, we will then, of course, return the location.